Hello friends, today we will discuss about decision making and looping. So what is looping and why this looping is required? Let us see. In programming, it may require that group of statements be executed repeatedly until some logical condition is satisfied. This is known as looping or iteration. Every loop consists three essential elements. They are control variable initialization. What is control variable initialization? It sets initial value for loop control variable before the statements within the loop starts to execute. Next, condition. It tests the condition to determine whether to execute the loop or not. Then update. It increases or decreases the loop control variable such that after some repetition condition will result false and loop will be terminated. Depending on the position of the control statements in the loop statements is classified into two categories, namely pre-tested loop, also known as entry control loop, and post-tested loop, also known as exit controlled loop. In pre-tested loop, test condition is evaluated before the execution of loop. If the condition is true, then loop is executed, otherwise loop is terminated. In post-tested loop, body of the loop is executed unconditionally for the first time because condition is tested after the execution of the body of loop. If the condition is true, then loop is executed again, otherwise loop is terminated. Different types of looping and iterative statements in C programming language are for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Now let us consider the for loop statement. The for loop is the most commonly used looping statement. It is pre-tested loop and it is used when the number of repetitions are known in advance. Syntax for in open and close parenthesis control variable initialization semicolon condition semicolon control variable update and within open and close brace statement 1 is up to statement n, that is list of the statements that are to be executed. So this is called the body of the for loop. Working control variable is initialized first. After initialization, condition is checked. Based on the outcome of condition, loop is continued or stopped. If the condition evaluates to false, the loop will be terminated. Goes to next statement following loop. If the condition evaluates to true, then statements within the body of loop is executed. After execution of statements, value of loop control variable is updated and condition is checked again and the process is repeated. Note: curly braces are optional if body of the loop contains single statement. Flow chart illustrates the operation of for loop. So this is the flow chart for loop. As discussed, there is a control variable initialization. Then there is a condition that is tested. If condition is false, then loop is terminated and statement after for loop starts executed. If condition is true, then body of the for loop, that is statements are executed, and after execution of the body of the for loop, control variable is updated and then condition is checked again. So this continues till condition is true. Once condition becomes false, loop is terminated and control goes to the execution of the statement following the for loop. Now let us discuss some example program to understand the for loop working. Example 1. In this example, we have to write a C program to print. Programming is fun 10 times. So a program can be written like this one. So hash include stdio.h. We using this statement, we include the standard input output.h header file that contains library functions. Then within open and close brace of the main function, first statement is int I. This declares integer type variable I. Then for statement is there. For in open and close parenthesis I equal to 1 semicolon I less than or equal to 10 semicolon I plus plus. Then within open and close brace print statement is there. So first I equal to 0, value of I is initialized to the 1 and it is tested in a condition I less than or equal to 10. Naturally 1 is less than or equal to 10. This is true. Then body of the for loop is executed. In this body printf statement is there. So this printf statement prints programming is fun on the output screen and /n escape sequence new line character bring the cursor in the beginning of the new line. After printing executing this printf statement, control variable I is incremented. Now this its value becomes 2. Again condition is tested. 2 is less than or equal to 10. Condition is true. Again printf statement is executed and this prints the programming is fun on the output screen in the second row. And again /n new line character bring the cursor in the beginning of the third line. So in this way this goes on and programming is fun gets printed on the output screen till condition is true. Condition is true for the value of I equal to 10 and for I equal to 10 programming is fun gets printed 10 times. After that one when value of I is incremented, so this value becomes equal to 11. So 11 is less than or equal to 10, condition becomes false and now loop is terminated, means control goes to the statement outside of the for loop. So here return 0 and then close brace. There is an end of the program. So when this program is run, as we discussed, programming is fun gets printed 10 times on the output screen. So we get the output like this one. Programming is fun 10 times it gets printed. Now let us take another example. In this example, we have to write a C program to print programming is fun n times, where n is given by user. In previous program, how many times programming is fun is mentioned in the program itself. But here, this number of times can be taken by the user. So a program can be written like this one. So again using hash include stdio.h, we include the standard input output.h header file in our program. Then within open and close brace of the main function, int I comma n semicolon declares two integer variable I and n. The next statement is the print statement that prints a message enter n on the output screen. So when user enters a number to print, programming is fun that much time. Then that number is taken in by scanf function and is stored with the variable n. The next statement is the for statement. For I equal to 1, control variable I is initialized to a value of 1, then condition is tested. So I less than or equal to n. If condition is true, then body of the for loop is executed. That is, programming is fun is displayed on the output screen and cursor goes to the beginning of next line. Then value of control variable is updated and again condition is tested. This goes on till condition is true. So when we run this program at the output, first a message enter n is printed. If user enters a number 5 and press the enter key, then value of n becomes 5 and this loop executed 5 times, and at the output screen we get programming is fun gets printed 5 times. Now in another example, that is example number 3, write a C program to find sum and average of n numbers given by the user. In this example, we have to find the sum of n numbers. What is n? How many numbers we want to add? That is provided by the user, and also their average. So a program can be written like this one. In this program, within open and close brace, first statement is int I comma n semicolon, then float sum equal to 0 comma average comma num semicolon. So using first statement int I and n, two integer variables I and n are declared. In the second statement, three float variables sum, average and num are declared, and simultaneously value of sum is initialized to 0. The next printf statement prints the enter n message on the output screen, whereby user enters a number and that number is stored with the variable taken in by the scanf function and is stored with the variable n. Then using the for loop, for I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n. Here n is the number entered by the user, I plus plus. Within open and close brace, that is within body of the for loop, three statements are there. Printf enter value percentage d I. So enter value 1 here gets printed. So user enters the first value. That value is taken in by the scanf function and is stored with the variable num. Then sum equal to sum plus num. Sum plus num, what number is entered by the user, that is added to the sum variable, and sum variable is initialized to the 0. So what is initial value of the sum? To that one, value entered by the user gets added and sum is assigned to the left side variable sum. After this one, control variable I is incremented, and condition is tested again. So if this condition is true, then again body of the for loop is executed, and again printf enter number, another number is entered by the user, that is taken in and is stored with the variable n, and then again sum equal to sum plus num. In this value is taken in and added to the initial sum value, and sum is assigned to the left side variable sum. So in this way, number the user, how many numbers user enters, that is taken in and added to the sum. And when condition becomes false, then loop is skipped, and out of this loop average equal to sum upon n. Average is found by dividing sum by n, how many numbers are added, and that average is assigned to the left side variable average. Then using next two printf statement, printf sum is percentage %f. What is the value of sum is printed at this format specifier percentage %f, and next printf statement prints average is, what is average of the number is printed at the format at the place of format specifier percentage %f, and then return 0, checks everything is okay, and then there is an end of the program. So when this program is run, so initial message displayed is enter n, how many numbers user wants to add, and when it enters 4 and press the enter key, then value of this 4 is stored with the variable n. Then I less than or greater than n means 4 value are going to be taken in. So when for loop first time is true, so here a message is displayed enter number 1, and user when press the number 12 and press the enter key, that number is taken in and added to the initial sum, that is the 0. So 0 plus 12 becomes the 12, and 12 is assigned to the left side variable sum. Then value of I is incremented, and this time again here value I becomes 2, 2 less than or equal to 4, that is true. So again this message body of the for loop is executed, and message enter number 2. Now user enters 21 and press the enter key. So this 21 is taken in and is stored with the variable n, and using the next statement num is, that is 21, is added to the initial sum, that is 12, and sum is assigned to the left side variable sum, and again control variable is incremented. So in this way, third time when user enters 14, this 14 is added to the initial sum, and last time it enter number 4, and when user enter 47, then it is again added to the initial sum of 12 plus 21 plus 14. Now after adding 47, when control variable is incremented, its value becomes 5, and when condition is tested, this condition becomes false. So for loop is skipped off, and next statement is average. Average equal to sum. What is sum of 12 21, 14, 47 is divided by the 4, and this average is assigned to the left side variable average. Then using next two statements, sum as well as average is printed on the output screen. So in this way, how many numbers are to be added and their average are to be found, a program can be prepared like this one. Now this for loop has various forms, and what are that form that may exist is like this one. Instead of using I plus plus, which is a unary operator, plus plus increment is a unary operator. For counter variable update, expression I equal to I plus 1 can be used. As seen in this example, I equal to 10, value of I is initialized to 10, then semicolon condition is I less than 20. Then semicolon I equal to I plus 1. So instead of using the I plus plus unary operator, we can use I equal to I plus 1. Now second variation may be like this one. Initialization part can be skipped from the loop as shown below. The counter variable is declared before the loop. So in this for loop, initialization part of the control variable is not present here, but this initialization is done before the for loop. So this form can also be there for the for loop statement. Here we have to note that even though initialization part is skipped, but semicolon before condition is must. So in this one, semicolon is present, without which compilation error will be displayed. If we do not here write the semicolon, there is a compilation error. Like initialization, update part can also be skipped, but semicolon is must after condition logic. That is in this example. Here update part, control variable update is absent, but semicolon after condition is present. In this case, update part is done inside the loop. In this code, update part is absent, but this update part must be in the body of the for loop. As here we can see that I plus plus exists in the body of the for loop. Counter variable is initialized before the loop and control variable update inside the loop. So example is like this one, int num equal to 10, and within the for loop, for in open and close parenthesis, semicolon I less than 20 semicolon. So here initialization is missing and also the update part is not present. So but this initialization is done before the for loop and update part exists in the body of the for loop. So in this way we have discussed what is looping statement, and in looping statement various type of the looping statement that are present in the C programming. And in this class today we have discussed for looping statements, what is for syntax of the for looping statement, working of the for looping statement, few examples to understand the for looping statement, and various forms that may exist for looping statements. In the next period we will discuss the nesting of the for loop. So till next period, bye and have a nice day.